Did you know that over 62 million tons of coconuts are harvested worldwide each year? Enough to fill the entire city of New York? Beneath that rough, fibrous shell lies a powerhouse of natural nutrients, so rich that a person could survive for weeks on a deserted island with nothing but coconuts. That's why this humble fruit is known as the living treasure of the tropics. From sun-drenched rural villages, each coconut is hand-picked from towering treetops, piled onto boats along the riverbanks, and carried downstream straight to the factory. There, under the combined force of modern machinery and human craftsmanship, these stubborn fruits are tamed and transformed into a wide range of essential products, from refreshing drinks and skincare to eco-friendly biomaterials, earning the coconut its title as a natural ATM that keeps delivering value to daily life. Join Agriculture Insight as we follow the journey of these modest coconuts and discover how they've come to appear everywhere, from kitchens and bathrooms to industries around the world. Imagine standing among thousands of coconut palms swaying in the wind, and green coconuts dangle above like tropical gems. Welcome to Indonesia, the kingdom of coconuts, producing nearly 30% of the world's supply and serving as the quiet capital of a $20 billion global industry. Across the Pacific, the coconut craze is quietly spreading. In the US, a market importing over $500 million worth of coconuts annually. This humble fruit is becoming a symbol of healthy living, from detox drinks and skincare oils to biodegradable packaging. But don't let its rustic appearance fool you. Compared to mangoes, a vitamin-rich fruit primarily known for its sugar, coconuts stand out with their ability to replenish electrolytes, provide healthy fats, and support immunity in a natural and sustainable way. And while coconuts may seem like the essence of tropical chill, they're not entirely harmless. Each year, around 150 people are injured by falling coconuts, more than by shark attacks and lightning strikes combined. Under the blazing sun of early April, as the dry season arrives with its golden hue, coconut groves across Indonesia come alive, marking the beginning of the busiest harvest of the year. Coconuts are notoriously stubborn fruits, growing in heavy clusters high atop trees that can reach 20 to 25 meters, making them especially difficult to collect. Traditionally, harvesters climb trees barehanded to cut down the clusters directly. However, this method is extremely risky and unsuitable for large-scale farms. To reduce the dangers of climbing, many plantations now use long poles fitted with blades to cut coconuts from the ground. But when clusters fall freely from such great heights, the fruits often crack upon impact, leading to waste and reduced quality. Today, resourceful farmers have found an effective solution that ensures safety while minimizing harvest losses. They dig shallow irrigation channels between rows of coconut trees so that when the heavy clusters are cut, the coconuts no longer fall freely onto the ground, but instead land gently in the water below. The water acts like a natural cushion, absorbing the impact from heights of several meters. A single 50-meter-long channel can safely catch up to 2,000 coconuts per day, significantly reducing cracking rates, a common issue that previously caused up to a 30% drop in product value during harvest seasons. Afterward, the coconuts are collected by farmers and tied together into long rows using sturdy ropes. They float on the water, neatly aligned like a string of drifting buoys. This method allows hundreds of coconuts to be moved at once without the need for boats, saving significant time and effort during the harvest. Once collection is complete, the coconuts are loaded onto specialized trucks using a combination of manual labor and inclined conveyor belts. Depending on the terrain, farmers may also use pulley systems or hydraulic lifts to speed up the loading process. The coconuts are then arranged in horizontal layers and secured with straps or mesh nets to minimize impact during long-distance transport. From there, the convoy travels along rugged red dirt roads, weaving through rustling coconut groves and crossing wide rivers, heading straight to modern processing facilities, where the transformation journey of each coconut officially begins. As the trucks loaded with fresh coconuts arrive at the receiving area, the gateway to a modern processing journey officially opens. The coconuts are fed into the automatic dehusking zone, where high-speed rotary machines equipped with stainless steel alloy blades begin their work. Each minute, the spinning shafts can reach up to 1,200 revolutions, allowing hundreds of coconuts to be dehusked per hour with maximum precision. Each pure white coconut is gently rotated in the skilled hands of a worker. A sharp blade glides over the surface like it's carving a tropical gem, shaping it precisely for the journey ahead. The first stop each coconut must pass through is the washing chamber. Here, a series of high-pressure jets unleash powerful streams of water to blast away any remaining dirt, fibers, or debris left behind after harvesting and peeling. The system operates as a closed-loop conveyor belt, running continuously with a cleaning capacity of up to 2,000 coconuts per hour. In the next stage, workers wearing sterile gloves carefully place sanitary plastic caps onto the top of each coconut. Coconuts typically have two ends, a pointed tip, which was once attached to the stem while hanging on the tree, and a flatter base. Only the flat end is stable enough for drilling and capping, allowing for a tight, secure seal that prevents leakage during transport and storage. Before heat shrink technology, up to 20% of coconuts would crack during transport. Now, thanks to a hot steam chamber, the nylon layer shrinks tightly around each coconut like a suit of armor. Not only sturdy, but also visually appealing, with almost no product loss. At the final stop of the line, a small hole is precisely drilled into the top, perfectly sized for a straw. A sterile plastic cap is immediately sealed over the opening, ensuring maximum hygiene and user convenience. Just pop the lid and enjoy the fresh tropical flavor inside. Each finished coconut is then neatly packed into specialized cartons with shock-absorbing liners, sealed, labeled, and transferred to cold storage. From there, the cool sweetness of the tropics is ready to hit the road, bound for supermarkets, cafes, and millions of homes around the world. Fresh coconut water, with its light sweetness and refreshing taste, is a signature gift from the tropics, but it's notoriously sensitive to time, staying fresh for only 1 to 2 days at room temperature. That's why packaged coconut water was born. Convenient, long-lasting, and ready to accompany every step of modern distribution. Unlike fresh coconut water, which typically comes from young coconuts, the packaged version favors mature, dry coconuts, where the sweetness is more concentrated and pronounced over time. At the factory, each coconut is fed into an automated drilling system, where a sharp drill pierces the hard shell to extract the water inside. The liquid is then immediately transferred into large cooling tanks, where the temperature is kept steady at 4 degrees Celsius to preserve both flavor and nutrients. A multi-layer filtration system follows, thoroughly removing all residues, oils, and microscopic particles. Once it reaches the desired purity, the coconut water is quickly sterilized and chilled again, locking in the fresh taste as if it were just cracked open. Next, it flows into a high-speed filling line, where it's poured into pre-sterilized multi-layer cartons, a specialized packaging that shields against light, air, and bacteria. For added flexibility, the coconut water is also bottled in PET plastic, easy to store, carry, and perfect for everything from supermarket shelves to on-the-go convenience. But the story of the coconut doesn't end there. While the water is bottled as a refreshing drink, the rich white flesh embarks on a completely different journey, one that weaves into the world of natural health and beauty. Each coconut is first stripped of its coarse, fibrous husk to reveal the hard brown shell. often called the stone of the coconut, thanks to its rock-like toughness and surprising resistance to impact. This shell is then cut or ground down using automated blades or high-speed rotary machines, exposing the thick, creamy, and fragrant white meat inside. After the hard brown shell is removed, the coconut meat is chopped into small pieces and passed through a high-pressure water rinsing system. The goal: to eliminate any remaining dirt, fibers, or debris from the shelling process. It may look simple at first glance, but this pure white flesh hides a treasure trove of nutrients. It contains over 60% natural oil, most notably lauric acid, a rare plant-based fat known for its powerful antibacterial, moisturizing, and antioxidant properties. Next, the clean coconut meat is finely ground and then pressed using either cold press or mechanical extraction methods. This technique helps preserve the natural aroma, nutrients, and purity of the oil. The result is virgin coconut oil, clear, lightly fragrant, and incredibly versatile. It can be used to make lip balm, hair conditioner, skin cream, or even as a healthy cooking oil for keto diets. Few people know that coconut oil was once studied by NASA as a potential biofuel. Today, this versatile oil is found in over 1,000 consumer products, from toothpaste, shampoo, and soap to dietary supplements. It's a clear reminder that even the so-called leftover coconut meat, after the water is extracted, still holds remarkable value in the global supply chain. Few would expect that the coarse, seemingly useless husk of a coconut, once discarded or burned, would become the starting point of a surprisingly valuable journey. From this tough fibrous shell, high-powered machines crush, press, and sift to extract coconut coir, a natural material now playing a role in a global industry worth billions of dollars. At the husk processing facility, heavy-duty machines take on the first task: shredding the tough outer layer, then pressing and sieving it to extract coir fiber, a natural valuable material widely used in agriculture and handicrafts. Once separated, the coir is passed through a drying system to remove all moisture, then compressed and packed into large bales for easier transport and storage. These dry coir bales are then moved to the finishing area. Here, automated machines work continuously to tease apart the fiber strands and sort them by length. The qualified fibers are twisted into thick, sturdy ropes, ideal for use in maritime industries, construction, or as organic growing media in agriculture. Beyond its industrial value, coconut coir also holds great potential in traditional crafts. When properly treated, the coarse fibers can be softened into fine, yarn-like strands, ready for weaving, crocheting, or artistic shaping. Once processed, the fibers are neatly rolled, bundled, and distributed to local workshops and factories. In the skilled hands of artisans, they are brought to life as handbags, rugs, decorative baskets, or even unique wall hangings. In some countries, coconut coir is even used to create expressive figurines with human faces. Coir for hair, coconut shells for faces, all combined into coconut fiber puppet heads or husk figurines, showcasing the limitless creativity drawn from natural materials. Each handcrafted item is a small slice of a remarkable transformation, from discarded husk to sustainable, artistic, and inspiring product. While sugarcane needs the warmth of the tropics and rich soil to survive, sugar beets thrive in the exact opposite: cold climates, poor soils, and short growing seasons. Thanks to their incredible adaptability, sugar beets have turned snowy Russia into the world's top producer, with over 45 million tons a year, while across the globe, the US follows closely behind, especially in northern states like North Dakota, Minnesota, and Michigan. However, when it comes to the art of refining sugar from beets, the crown belongs to the European Union, a region that not only produces millions of tons of sugar each year using some of the most advanced factories in the world, but also relies on sugar beets for up to 80% of its domestic sugar consumption. Beet sugar is naturally whiter, milder in taste, and easier to refine, which helps save energy and reduce environmental impact. In fact, it only takes 7 sugar beets to produce 1 kilogram of pure refined sugar, enough to sweeten your week. With trade and tariff tensions heating up, even a sweet bag of sugar in the US might now come with a few extra bitter bucks, courtesy of new policies. And to begin the journey of transforming these humble roots into sparkling white crystals, it all starts with one essential step: the harvest. In autumn, when the sugar content in the beets reaches its peak, vast fields burst to life with the roar of modern machinery, transforming once quiet farmland into a hive of harvest activity. This modern harvesting process is typically divided into 2 main stages, involving 2 specialized machines working in perfect coordination across the fields. In the first stage, a massive defoliator moves along the beet rows. The front of the machine is equipped with sharp blades designed to neatly cut off the leafy tops above ground while separating them from the root below without damaging the beets themselves. Immediately afterward, a second machine follows to collect the most valuable part, the sugar beets. This harvester is equipped with a specialized lifting mechanism. Rotating wheels and lifting arms gently dig into the soil, raise the entire root, and transfer it onto a conveyor belt integrated into the machine. On the conveyor, the beets undergo preliminary cleaning using a shaking and soil separating system, removing most of the dirt and debris from their surface before being transported to the processing factory. Thanks to the seamless coordination between these 2 advanced machines, tens of thousands of sugar beets can be harvested in just 1 hour, an impressive level of efficiency, equivalent to the manual labor of around 100 to 150 field workers toiling all day. While technology clearly boosts productivity, it also brings along certain challenges, especially the high initial investment costs and the growing risk of job loss for millions of migrant workers who have long been an essential part of the agricultural workforce. As the bustling harvest season comes to a close, truckloads of these earthy treasures begin to roll out, continuing their journey toward modern sugar processing factories. Once harvested, millions of tons of sugar beets are swiftly transported to the factory to avoid moisture loss and preserve sugar content, ready to begin their transformation into those sparkling white sugar crystals you've always wondered about. However, the sugar beets aren't sent straight into the factory just yet. Instead, they are first delivered to large collection areas near the processing site, commonly known as receiving stations or beet piles. These storage areas can span up to 10 hectares and hold as much as 100,000 tons of sugar beets at once. In cold weather conditions, the beets can even be preserved for 4 to 6 weeks without significant loss of quality. Next, the input quality inspection process begins. A mechanical arm, known as an automatic sampling probe, is lowered into the truck, reaching deep inside to collect beet samples from various points. These samples are then sent directly to the in-house laboratory, where specialists analyze key indicators such as sugar content, moisture level, and impurities. This step is essential, as it determines the value of each beet load and whether it meets the standards required for processing. After passing the initial quality check, the trucks carrying sugar beets are gathered at the raw material reception area, where the beets are unloaded into a large receiving tank to begin the washing process. The beets slide down a chute from the truck and are given an initial wash with high-pressure water to remove the dirt on their outer surface. Next, the beets are transferred to a rotary drum washer or a screw-type washer. In this equipment, the beets are continuously rotated, combined with a strong reverse flow of water, which helps to dislodge any remaining dirt, small stones, or root remnants. Some factories also install high-pressure spray nozzles inside the machine to ensure the beets are completely cleaned. Heavy impurities such as gravel and stones fall onto a stone separation conveyor, while the remaining roots and leaves are removed by a filtering mesh or scraping paddles. Sugarcane gives us sugar simply by pressing its stalks, but turning sugar beets into refined sugar is a whole different story. Once thoroughly cleaned, the sugar beets are moved to the slicing area, where they are cut into long, thin strips resembling small-sized French fries, commonly known as cassettes. This process is carried out using high-speed slicing machines equipped with serrated knives made of stainless steel. These knives rotate continuously at high speeds, cutting the beets into even, thin slices, approximately 3–5 centimeters long and just a few millimeters thick. The thin strip shape increases the surface area, which enhances the extraction process, allowing the sugar to dissolve more easily into the water in the next step. After slicing, the beet strips are placed on a conveyor belt and fed into a diffuser, where the hot water extraction process begins. Inside the diffuser, the beet slices are slowly moved either horizontally or vertically, while hot water at around 70 to 80 degrees Celsius is pumped in the opposite direction. This process, known as counter-current diffusion, allows the water to gradually absorb the sucrose from each beet slice. The entire process typically lasts 60 to 90 minutes, resulting in a solution rich in sugar, known as raw juice. It's the slicing into thin strips and the hot water diffusion process that serve as the key steps, enabling beet sugar to achieve high purity, easier refinement, and greater environmental friendliness, surpassing the traditional cane pressing method. Nothing goes to waste. After sugar extraction, the leftover beet pulp is turned into high-protein feed for livestock, while molasses is used in fermentation industries and even as a base for bioethanol production. Beet processing is a closed-loop system that balances sweetness with sustainability. On the other side of the process, the raw juice extracted from the beets still contains many impurities, so it undergoes a cleaning process called carbonation. To clean the raw juice, lime is produced by burning limestone with coke in a furnace, creating a substance known as milk of lime. This milk of lime is then gradually added to the raw juice in several stages. Next, CO2 gas is introduced into the mixture of juice and milk of lime, causing a reaction that makes the impurities precipitate, which can then be easily removed through a pressure filtration system. The result is a pale yellow solution called thin juice. However, since thin juice is still quite dilute, it is further processed in a multi-stage evaporation system, where most of the water is removed. The result is thick juice, a thick syrup containing about 60 to 70% sucrose. After being concentrated, the thick juice is transferred into a vacuum pan, where sugar begins to form in the form of crystals. In the vacuum pan, the thick syrup is gently heated in a vacuum environment, allowing the water to continue evaporating without burning the sugar. Once the solution reaches the proper concentration, tiny seed crystals are added to provide a starting point for the crystallization process. The sucrose in the thick juice gradually crystallizes around the seed crystals, forming a thick mixture known as massacrete, a blend of sugar crystals suspended in the remaining syrup that has not fully crystallized. Once the massacrete reaches the desired crystallization level, it is transferred to a centrifuge for the sugar to be separated. In the centrifugation stage, the massacrete mixture, which contains sugar crystals and uncrystallized syrup, is fed into a centrifuge and spun at very high speed. The strong centrifugal force effectively separates the sugar crystals from the remaining syrup. This leftover syrup can be returned to the crystallization tanks multiple times to extract additional sugar. Once separated, the sugar crystals are transferred to a drying system. Here, a stream of hot air at approximately 65 to 70 degrees Celsius is blown through the crystals to remove any remaining moisture. This process ensures the sugar is dry, preventing mold growth and making it easier to store for long periods. After drying, the sugar is cooled in a controlled cool air environment to prevent clumping. Next, the crystals are passed through a grading screen, where they are sorted by size. This final step ensures that the sugar crystals are uniform and meet the quality standards of the finished product. The pure sugar crystals undergo quality checks for moisture, size, and purity before entering the fully automated packaging line. Thanks to the strict steps of filtration, crystallization, and centrifugation, any traces of milk of lime or CO2 used during purification are completely removed, leaving behind nothing but sparkling white sugar crystals, up to 99.9% pure and perfectly safe to enjoy. In the European market, craft paper packaging is the preferred choice due to its environmental friendliness and is often prioritized for premium product segments. Large rolls of craft paper are fed into an automatic pouch-making machine, which cuts, folds, and shapes them into standard pouches weighing 1 to 2 kilograms. The sugar is then weighed and filled into each pouch. The pouches are sealed tightly using heat sealing or adhesive to ensure moisture resistance and proper storage. Sugar is not the enemy. It all comes down to how we use it. In a world flooded with billions of sugar-filled products, it's smart choices that keep sugar a joy, not a concern. So if you're looking for a sweeter, more natural, and healthier alternative, join us as we explore the magical journey of honey. Growing and harvesting soybeans requires a blend of modern agricultural practices, from seed selection to care and harvesting with cutting-edge technology. The U.S. stands as one of the largest soybean exporters globally. Soybeans are cultivated over approximately 87.5 million acres in the U.S., spanning from Iowa and Illinois to Nebraska. The soybean harvest season in the U.S. typically occurs in the fall, from about September to November. Soybeans are a short-season crop, so farmers often rotate between soybeans and corn. This rotation improves nutrient utilization, especially nitrogen, as soybeans are legumes capable of fixing nitrogen from the air. Large farms in the U.S. utilize modern machinery for harvesting. Combine harvesters are primarily used to quickly and efficiently separate the soybean seeds from their pods, ensuring quality beans for processing into oil, making soy milk, or producing tofu. Returning to springtime, around April to June, when the soil has warmed up and the frost season has passed. This is when farmers begin the new soybean planting season. The seeds are typically purchased from major companies where they have been hybridized in laboratories for high yield and robust vitality. Seeds may be treated with fungicidal and insecticidal compounds to protect them during the early stages of growth. Before planting, farmers plow the soil to aerate it, remove weeds, and improve drainage. Before planting soybeans, American farmers often spread manure using machinery to enhance soil fertility. Chicken manure is commonly used, providing essential organic nutrients that help aerate the soil and increase its water retention. Automatic seed planters are used to ensure even spacing and density. Soybean seeds are fed into the rear containers and are machine-fed into the ground at regular intervals. Soybean seeds are usually planted about 3 to 5 centimeters deep in the soil, with a spacing of about 5 to 10 centimeters between seeds and 45 to 5 centimeters between rows. Each machine costs hundreds of thousands of USD. The machine can be easily folded after planting. Soybean plants grow and produce leaves about 10 days after planting. They then require careful care at each stage of growth. Soybeans require a consistent amount of water throughout the growing season. Pivot irrigation systems with long arms and attached sprinklers are also used to evenly water large areas. The system consists of a long pipe attached to multiple sprinkler heads, supported by pillars and able to rotate around a fixed axis. Along with watering, fertilization is essential. Fertilizers may be in liquid or granular form, containing nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, to provide a full range of nutrients. Soybeans usually begin to flower about 30 to 50 days after planting. Soybean flowers are usually light purple. Soybean flowers are self-pollinating, which helps to form pods with a high success rate. Soybeans are typically harvested 80 to 120 days after planting, depending on the crop variety and weather conditions. As the soybeans mature, the leaves start to yellow and gradually fall off, exposing the soybean pods. This is a clear sign that the plants have reached the necessary maturity. The soybeans inside the pods will harden and turn a pale yellow or brown color. It indicates that they are ready for harvest. Farmers use combine harvesters, a modern device that simultaneously cuts the plant stalks and separates the beans from their pods in a single operation. The machine is adjusted to cut close to the root, collecting the entire plant body into the processing chamber. Here, a system of sieves and fans removes the pods and impurities, retaining only the soybean seeds. The seeds are then transported on conveyors to large storage bins or trucks, ready for shipment to processing plants. This process is quick, enabling the harvesting of hundreds of hectares in just a few days. Thanks to modern technology, farmers can minimize losses and ensure the best quality of soybean seeds. However, these machines are quite expensive, costing around $50,000, making them suitable only for large farms. The harvesting process often continues day and night, with high-powered lighting systems supporting work in low-light conditions. With a soybean yield of around 50 bushels per acre, farmers managing thousands of acres can bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars from their harvest. This impressive revenue makes the investment in modern machinery and advanced technology well worth it, ensuring efficient operations and maximizing profits. The United States produces an average of about 120 million tons of soybeans annually, accounting for roughly 30 to 35% of the global output. Meanwhile, Brazil is currently the top producer, with a harvest of approximately 153 million tons in 2023, thanks to its large farming area and favorable climate. Argentina also makes a significant contribution, with an average annual production of 45 to 50 million tons. Together, these three countries play a crucial role in meeting global soybean demand, primarily for vegetable oil production and livestock feed. Join me in enjoying the following extremely impressive soybean harvesting moment. After harvesting, the soybeans are moved to factories or stored in large silos. Silos are typically equipped with ventilation and temperature control systems to maintain an ideal environment. Modern conveyor systems at the silos make transporting soybeans easy. At large companies, soybeans are taken from the silos and exported globally to countries like China, Mexico, and various European nations. Some factories also have bean screening machines. Soybean screening uses specialized machines to separate high-quality beans from damaged or undersized beans. These machines use a combination of screening, airflow, and vibration to ensure that only the best beans are selected for planting. Next, let's visit modern facilities that produce soy-based products, starting with a soy milk bottling plant. The process begins with the arrival of pre-processed soybeans, which are washed and soaked to soften. The beans are then ground into a slurry of soy pulp and water. This mixture is heated to sterilize it and eliminate any enzymes that cause bitterness. Afterwards, the soy milk is filtered to remove solids, ensuring a smooth and uniform consistency. Flavorings, sugars, or preservatives are added to the soy milk depending on the product formula. The milk then goes through a sterilization system to kill any remaining bacteria, extending shelf life without preservatives. Finally, the milk is transferred to an automatic bottling machine where glass bottles are cleaned, dried, and filled. Capped bottles are labeled, quality checked, and packaged in batches. This process is completely enclosed, maintaining high hygiene and food safety standards. Soy milk supports cardiovascular health, improves bone strength, and balances hormones thanks to its isoflavones. It is also a good option for weight management and those who are lactose intolerant. Next up is the tofu production plant. First, soybeans are washed and soaked in water for about 2 hours to soften. The soaked beans are then blended with water to create a soy milk mixture. This mixture is boiled to sterilize it and remove impurities. Next, the soy milk is coagulated by adding coagulants such as magnesium chloride or vinegar. The curds are then pressed to remove water, shaping them into blocks of tofu with varying degrees of firmness based on product specifications. The tofu blocks are then cut into standard sizes and vacuum-packed in plastic packaging. Tofu is an ideal choice for vegetarians, vegans, or those reducing meat consumption. Soybeans can also be pressed into cooking oil. The beans are cleaned and dried to remove impurities and achieve the appropriate moisture content. They are then crushed and mechanically pressed to extract the oil. The crude oil is filtered and refined, removing unwanted impurities, free fatty acids, and odors. Finally, the refined soybean oil is automatically bottled, capped, labeled, and batch packaged for distribution. Soybean oil is rich in unsaturated fats and omega-3s, helping to reduce bad cholesterol and protect cardiovascular health. When the seedlings mature and their leaves begin to yellow, a vibrating machine is used to shake off the leaves. Afterward, specialized equipment gently lifts the seedlings, ensuring the roots remain undamaged. The harvested seedlings are transported back to the facility, bundled neatly and stored with care. This marks the final stage before the seedlings are delivered to orchards, ready to grow into lush apple trees that will one day bear the iconic Granny Smith apples. The young green apple seedlings eventually find their permanent home in sprawling orchards, where they will spend their entire lives producing delicious apples. Planting these seedlings on large farms follows the same semi-automated process used for grafted trees. The spacing between each tree is typically maintained at 10 to 15 feet, depending on the variety and desired planting density. The rootstock is planted level with or slightly below the ground, usually 8 to 12 inches deep. This depth ensures the roots anchor firmly into the soil, providing stability and efficient absorption of water and nutrients. Once planted, green apple trees require diligent care to thrive. Automated irrigation systems are installed to supply about 1 to 2 inches of water per week, depending on weather conditions, ensuring the soil remains consistently moist and suitable for growth. Young branches are pruned to shape the canopy and remove weak or misdirected shoots, allowing the tree to focus its energy on the essential parts. Regular pest and disease prevention measures are also taken, with periodic spraying of safe and approved treatments to protect the trees from harmful insects and fungal infections. Green apple trees begin to bloom around 3 to 4 years after planting. Springtime is when the magic happens, as warm weather and abundant sunlight create the ideal conditions for pollination. They emit a gentle fragrance that attracts pollinators, particularly bees, which play a crucial role in the pollination process. As the bees diligently travel from flower to flower, they transfer pollen between the stamens and pistils, enabling the formation of fruit. Green apples, particularly the Granny Smith variety, require about 150 to 180 days to grow from blossoms to harvest-ready fruit. Fall, from September to November, marks the busiest season in Washington's apple orchards. Harvesting green apples is a meticulous process supported by modern machinery. Specialized equipment with secure platforms helps farmers reach the apples growing high on the trees. Farmers carefully hand-pick each apple, using a gentle twisting motion to detach the fruit from its branch without damaging the smooth green skin. Once picked, the apples are gently placed on conveyor belts built into the machinery. These belts transport the apples to collection bins, where soft rotating brushes remove dirt and debris from the surface, ensuring the apples remain clean and shiny. The machines move slowly along the rows of trees, efficiently collecting the apples while preserving their quality. This method combines the skill of human hands with the efficiency of modern technology, guaranteeing that Washington's famous green apples reach the highest standards of quality. It's a crucial first step in the journey that takes these apples from orchard to table. Alongside harvesting with modern conveyor systems, at some less equipped farms, green apples are still hand-picked by migrant workers. These laborers skillfully pluck each apple from the branches, taking care not to bruise the skin or damage the fruit. Once picked, the apples are carefully placed into bags worn on their chests or baskets positioned nearby. This work requires patience and technique, as each apple is inspected to meet size and color standards. Despite the challenges, the meticulous effort of these hands ensures that fresh, high-quality green apples reach consumers. After harvest, the apple crates are loaded onto trailers linked together like a small train winding through the orchard. These trailers carefully transport the apples to a collection area where they are transferred onto large trucks. From there, the apples are swiftly delivered to processing facilities or distribution centers, ensuring their freshness is preserved. The first step in processing green apples at the factory is thorough cleaning using advanced water systems. The apples are gently immersed in large water tanks, where dirt, soil, and debris are loosened and washed away. These tanks often include gentle agitation to ensure even cleaning without damaging the fruit. After soaking, the apples are transported through interconnected water channels, which carry them smoothly to the next stage of the process. Some factories enhance this process by incorporating ozonated water or mild sanitizing solutions, ensuring the apples are not only spotless, but also meet stringent food safety standards. As the apples move from the water tanks, they are carried along smooth conveyor belts designed to transport them gently to the optical grading area. The conveyor system ensures the apples remain evenly spaced to avoid collisions or bruising during transit. Along the way, excess water is drained off, leaving the apples clean and ready for inspection. Once cleaned, the apples are moved to the sorting area, where advanced optical scanners meticulously inspect each one. These scanners evaluate the apples based on size, color, shape, and the perfection of their skin. After passing through the optical sorting machines, The green apples are further graded by automated systems that ensure precision. The approved apples continue along the conveyor for packaging or processing, while those deemed unsuitable are gently removed through mechanical arms or air jets. This additional step guarantees that only the highest quality apples proceed, meeting the strict standards set for market or production use. Apples that meet quality standards are sent to the packaging area, where they are carefully arranged into trays or carton boxes lined with soft padding to protect the fruit from bumps or scratches. Each box is then labeled with detailed information, including the origin, packaging date, apple variety, and quality standards. This labeling ensures consumers can easily trace the product's details and feel confident in their purchase. In advanced facilities, the entire packaging process is handled by automated robotic systems. These robots, equipped with precise sensors, gently pick up each apple and arrange them neatly into trays. This method not only speeds up the process but also minimizes errors, improves productivity, and ensures consistency in the final product. With their ability to operate continuously, these systems handle large orders efficiently while maintaining the highest quality standards. Once packaged, the apple boxes are transferred to cold storage facilities, where temperature and humidity are carefully regulated. This ensures the apples remain fresh and retain their natural flavor for extended periods. In the cold storage, the boxes are neatly stacked on pallets, ready to be shipped to supermarkets, retail stores, or exported to international markets. This step completes the journey of green apples, ensuring they arrive at their destination in perfect condition, ready to delight consumers around the world. Once the fresh and carefully packed apples are stored at the factory, some of them continue their journey to become the star ingredient of the iconic apple pie. The journey begins with the apples being fed into automatic peelers, where sharp blades swiftly and gently remove their smooth green skins. At the same time, these advanced machines are equipped with precision coring tools that simultaneously remove the hard cores from the apples as they are being peeled. This synchronized process ensures efficiency, with the blades skillfully slicing away the skin while cylindrical coring blades extract the tough inner cores and seeds in one seamless motion. Once peeled and cored, the apples move on to a slicing system that cuts them into evenly sized pieces. These apple slices are then packaged in specialized bags to maintain their freshness and quality. The pre-sliced apples are transported to pie-making factories, where they embark on their final transformation into mouth-watering apple pies. Fresh apple slices from Grand Smith green apple are washed before being transferred to large kettles. Here, they are mixed with ingredients like honey, sugar, and spices to create the signature apple pie flavor. The mixture is gently cooked and stirred, releasing natural juices while blending harmoniously with the added ingredients. Simultaneously, the pie crust is being meticulously prepared to achieve the perfect buttery and flaky texture. Skilled hands work the dough into thin, even sheets, ensuring it has just the right thickness. After the dough is carefully kneaded to achieve perfect smoothness and elasticity, it is divided into smaller pieces for easier handling. These pieces are then rolled into thin, even sheets, ready to be used for making apple pies. Afterward, the filling is poured into the pie crusts using an automatic machine. The machine precisely measures the amount of filling, gently depositing the sweet, spiced apple mixture into each crust. Another layer of dough is placed on top. The edges are carefully sealed to keep the filling inside. Each pie is then shaped, vented for steam release, and transferred to the ovens. The baking temperature is meticulously controlled to ensure a golden brown crust and perfectly cooked filling. After baking, the pies are cooled in a specialized system to retain their crispness and fresh flavor. Finally, the apple pies are automatically packaged in protective boxes, complete with detailed labels. These pies are now ready to be distributed to stores or exported, ensuring every customer enjoys a slice of this beloved dessert at its finest. Now you've seen the full journey of green apples, from being carefully harvested in the orchards to becoming high-quality products like apple pie. This process is a testament to the perfect combination of modern agricultural technology and the craftsmanship of American farmers. Thank you for joining me on this exciting exploration. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories about green apples and modern agriculture. See you in the next video.